He sat down and he goes, I need a 5-year plan, strategy, and I'm going to retire. I said, okay. And what do you want me to do about it in half an hour? Because what he just asked for is massive. Today I'm on my way to what's called a business pop-up cafe, and that is a local enterprise partnership initiative. I have volunteered, so I won't get paid today, which is fine. What it is you make yourself available at a location, and there are 60-minute slots that businesses can book into. So what will happen in reality today is I will see one business after another, 1-hour bursts. They'll come in with a completely different issue that I won't know about in advance and say, do you know anything about this? And I will have to literally, what's the word, blurge, power up, whatever you want to call it, give as much knowledge and advice as I can in 60 minutes. Quite a lot to do. Okay, I've just finished the pop-up cafe and I'm not there anymore, obviously, and I'm not in my car. That's because I had to get back to the office very quickly. It was exactly what I thought, which is I saw 4 businesses in 4 hours. The first business that came in was a startup. They were importing clothing product from China and Turkey, I think. And their question was a marketing question, which is, I've got the product, I've got the supply, I know what I'm going to price it as, I know how much it costs. How should we market this product? And so when you only have half an hour, 40 minutes, there's no time for, what we call it, subjective marketing. There's no time for being creative and talking about brand, not really, not in half an hour. The question is, what potential channels do I have to sell my product? So that means I list them all and we do elimination, not creation. By that I mean online, offline, online first. I could. Search engine optimization, bit of a nightmare. Clothing, competitive as hell. Good luck. I could do social media, not as bad. You know, I can be direct, I can acquire people to follow me and I can talk to them, and I still have to monetize it, which on social media terms basically means ask for money. You know, I worked with a person who had 100,000 Twitter followers once. He asked me to come along and say I didn't make any money. And I looked through all his Twitter feed and said, that's because you never asked for any. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. You must ask people to buy things. Calls to action. So you could do social media. I said, or you could do what you do if you were in the real world selling clothing. You would either open up your own shop and get people to walk past it, tricky in the internet, or you would walk in other shops and say, will you sell my garment? We put it in your shop window. You can have a percentage of the money. And there is an online equivalent. Go to any e-commerce shop that sells clothes and say, email them or ring them, better, and say, you know, do you want to stock this product? It will add value to your portfolio. The rules are the same online as well as offline. I said, you know, find some. I said, finally, we'd like some vouch for recommendation. Go and find bloggers in your target market, which you defined to me, you know, age, type, male, female, all that stuff. I said, go and find them, send them samples. You need a send out sample strategy. You want someone with followers already, you don't have them, to say, look at this great product. They just sent it to me, I love it. You can buy it here. Not easy to do. But that's how I would do the online stuff. Find commission, cost per sale stuff, just as you would if it was a real shop, online, e-commerce store. See if they'll stock your product and sell it for you. Find a list of vloggers who talk to your target market and see if you can, using a sample strategy, keep sending them a product to review. See if you can get them to put something out on film to their followers. I need someone else to do the selling at startup because I don't have much time. I don't have much money. Right? Then we talked about offline. I said, she was talking about fairs and shows. I said, yeah, you should do that. That's hard work, isn't it? But you should do that. That's an established way of craft type clothing stuff to do it. However, walk into the shops who stock similar products and ask them if they'll stock your product. Same thing. I need resellers. I can reach a wider audience. They do the selling for me. It costs me a premium. It will cost me a percentage. But on average, in my opinion, a third of the effort and cost of securing a purchase, a customer, is a third of the money and time. Well, anything less than a third, you're ahead in the reseller deal. So, that's how we left that. I left her a list of things we crossed out as channels and things that they should pursue. That's my point. if you don't have very much time, I can't give you the answers. Normally we'd spend sort of, days with people, defining, challenging, checking, implementing strategies and actions. With this, I just have to say, look, don't go that way, go that way. And then you'll have to decide where you go. Because normally we'd go with them, make sure they didn't go off track, right? Second business comes in, it's a much shorter meeting, and she looks very worried and put upon. Said, I'm starting up, I can't tell you what it is, and I can't tell you what the business name is, and I can't tell you what I'm selling, and it's kind of a secret at the moment. I'm thinking, it doesn't really matter. I don't actually know anything about what you're about to do, because what she asked me was, I want to know about premises, I want to know about employment, I want to know about insurances, I want to know all the regulatory stuff that's going to be on me when I have premises and employees. So I said, when will that be? She said, I don't know, 2 years. At which point, I said, rip your list up. It's 2 years down the line. You don't have premises, so all your long list of worries is irrelevant. So you don't have employees, and you're not planning on having any for a couple of years. So all your worries about that and their law, employment law, irrelevant right now. So in terms of regulations, most of them just disappeared when you didn't have infrastructure and premises and people to look after. So focus your energy instead on getting your market and your name out there, and do it in a phased way. I said, I know your dream is because you're 58 years old and you want to retire, that's what she told me, in 7 years. Your dream is to have premises and have employees, and that's the route to it. I understand that. I'm not saying ignore it. What I'm saying is you don't have those problems right now. You have different problems. Marketing, costing, sales. I said, ignore it as detailed. Don't try and read it. Here's the point. She's trying to read it all up on websites and books. That's a nightmare. It's all kind of rubbish language, very technical and law. It's confusing. I said, don't do that. All I need to know right now for your business strategy is how much will premises cost? How much will employees cost? And what will the regulatory burden be? I don't need to worry about the detail yet. What I need to do is not read anything. I need to walk into a very similar type premises in an area I won't be competing in, walk up to the owner and say, I am going to do this one day. I'm 58, tell them the truth. I'm planning to retire, I need to make my dream happen. Can I sit down with you for an hour and ask you? You're living the problems, I'm reading about them. Sit down with the person and say, how much is your premises? What are the rates in rent? What are the regulationary problems, which aren't problems that look problems? You see what I mean? Don't read about it. Just go into a premises, tell them the truth and be sincere and say, will you help me? And business people, in my experience, if you ask them for help, they will help you. Okay, if you're genuine. The third business, and the fourth business actually, they were together, there were different sections of it, came in and he sat down and he must have been, I don't know, 60, I hope I haven't done him a disservice. And he sat down and he goes, I need a 5-year plan, strategy, and I'm going to retire. I said, okay. And what do you want me to do about it in half an hour? Because what he just asked for is massive. Massive. And it's massive in terms of I can't afford to get anything wrong. Once I'm 5 years down towards an exit strategy, a retirement plan, if anything went wrong, it's not like it's not 5 years, is it? If anything goes wrong, it's maybe 10. That's a big deal. That's 5 years of your life. So I'll tell you what, I can't do you what we'd normally do. We would do 6 3-hour sessions, maybe more, going through and challenging you with all the key people involved, family and so on, challenging you on what your assumptions are and what your plans are and what you're going to turn this business into when you leave, before you leave. So what I'll do, I'll do you the half-hour turbo version with the caveat that there is no challenge. You don't ask me anything. I ask you lots of questions and I get everything out of your head in a turbo way. And I'm going to show you something from the book we wrote, which our book is basically what we do. That's what we do, we pass it on to businesses and you could do this yourself. And this will make my camera go crazy, but I want you to look at this. Okay? We call that the future statement. Okay? What it does, it says, tell us what your business looks like when you leave. Tell us where you want to arrive. Define it very succinctly. Then tell us the major projects you need to make successful in the next 2 or 3, 5 years to make it happen. If you don't do these significant things, these strategically important things, It won't happen. You'll arrive 5 years down the line and it won't have happened. Because people get obsessed with the smaller picture, selling, paying wages, firefighting, and they don't think of the bigger picture every day. What we say, and this is what came out of the half hour, which I don't want you to be able to read, yeah, but you'll see similarly, this is it. And these are the 4 things he has to do every day brilliantly, bigger picture stuff. And his 5-year plan that came out of half an hour was, he retires, his son's got to take over the company. His son isn't necessarily ready to take over the company. He's a good manager, but is he a good entrepreneur? Is he a good director? Well, he can't be because he hasn't had experience in that. He may be good, but he's not experienced. And so one of our boxes says, succession, planned handover. That means I train up the son formally in being a director, thinking enterprisingly. The second part of it is, when you leave, what do we lose? You know, when you retire, I'm going to risk all my customer relationships, my existing ones, because they talk to you. They trust you. They know you. I can't just say I've handed over to my son. It's a significant risk of people leaving. You need to shadow them. You need a shadow plan. That is stuff that doesn't make money straight away, but it's absolutely critical, of why I have an arrow, to making your life exactly what you want it to be. I won't tell you about the rest, but you get the gist. So yeah, you can do it in half an hour, but just a steer. Then you decide where to go.